Okay, so I guess don't log out when you're in the City of Light, because otherwise the game is going to force you back into it when you relog. Bobo. I know, you want to be a famous YouTube cat, don't you? Look at him. Jana, little Bobo. I'm sorry, I won't pick you up by the scruff. Isn't it weird how people always think picking a cat up by the scruff is like really bad for them, except for cat owners that know it's like their mom's picking them up. So how y'all doing today, folks? Hope you're doing fantastic, wonderful. My name's Scythe and we are back again for some more SkySaga. And oh my goodness gracious, there's been quite a few developments since the last episode, everybody. I'm still sick, still under the weather, but obviously getting a little bit better. I've been kind of reconstructing my homeworld a little bit, also figuring out how you actually get your homeworld to work with friends. So I'm gonna run through quite a few of the different settings that I've learned today with all of you before we end up going back to town. That is to say, also we're gonna be messing with pretty much the equivalent of Redstone in SkySaga. They actually just added it in the Alpha 9 update, and it's okay. You know, it's not bad. It's kind of a nice fundamental for it. It's a little bit slow and clunky, like everything in this game though. But if you press F, you'll see your world, right? So you have to actually tell the game, allow friends to edit. And then on top of that, you also have to click this little check mark that gives a user build rights. Let me accept that friend request right there. So you have to have both of those working in order for people to actually mess around on your island. And then if you want your friends to be able to join your island even when you're offline, you would change it from private to public. Now, unfortunately, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that for quite some time, just because of the fact that it's very easy for people to come to your world and start messing with things and breaking things, even though you don't have building privileges. I'm talking about people pushing you off of the map game, so I hope the devs eventually get that changed. Now, this is my little house right here. Also, this is a redstone door, which as soon as we stand on a pressure plate, it disappears for a beautiful 10 seconds, because that is actually a nice little timer up there that stays active for 10 seconds. And then the only other thing on top of that is pretty much just like they have a not gate and another thing above. For the most part though, whoopsie daisy, I want to look at this. It's from this Lumo wand, right? And as you end up messing with this thing, it's quite simple. We actually connected this pressure plate out here to that thing right there. You can see all of the connections, and then this actually connects to the door itself. While we're actually selected to one of these streams, we can actually deactivate it just by clicking, meaning that I don't know which one we deactivated. We deactivated one of the streams somehow, or well, maybe we didn't. I don't know. But either way, it's very, you know, it works. I'll say that. But there's not really that much more depth to it. We're going to grab a bunch of these for today as well, except for this one that's still timed from another adventure I did. Also, I did kind of mention this in passing in the last episode about the crafting in this game. So the crafting in general, I don't think I'm ever going to do that on camera, folks, because the crafting, I'm sorry to say, it is terrible. Like, the crafting system in this game is absolute trash. It's the same crafting system that they had way back when I played this game, I think at Alpha 2 or Alpha 3 version. Maybe it was even Alpha 1, I don't know. But in the old version, since then up to now, they haven't touched the crafting system. So what I found is, here's a nice little tip that you can end up doing. So for this piece of armor right here, we need a steel armor plate and heroic forest essence. For the armor itself, we need armor plate, bolt, leather strap, pelt, ice essence, and let's say that you're trying to craft like a full suit of armor, you're gonna need all sorts of different crazy items. So one thing that you can do that I usually do for this is, let's just say, so you type in plate, bolt, strap, pelt, ice, right? And then you can see that that is just barely visible underneath your inventory menu. So you can actually use that effectively to go up to all of your chests and kind of see, okay, which resources do I need? But then on top of that, the thing that's so clunky about it is the fact that there's 50 different types of colors of items that can form into 50 different other items. So for example, say we're trying to make leather right here. We would take 5 different types of pelts that we could forge into 5 different colors of leather, all serving the exact same function, but changing the color of your armor and stuff like that. And that seems like a lot of work just for something like that. Now, don't get me wrong, I like the idea of that for doors and other crafting components and building stuff like that. I like that idea. I like that you could change the wood to craft a different colored door. Yes, most definitely. I don't like that when I have to do 50 pieces of armor and weapons and stuff for individual areas, right? It's not good. So I honestly wish that they would get rid of that and just make it so that you just need straight up iron for your armor, and that would be it, and you could just choose the color. Or an alternative that I would say is to make it so that you could craft stuff out of your chests, like it could actually take it out of your chest just to put it into your crafting table. Now, another thing too I do want to mention as far as with friends is concerned is, unfortunately, even if friends have building privileges, none of these tables are going to be accessible to them. They're going to have to bring their own crafting tables to your island, which can potentially end up making the place pretty cluttered. We also ended up messing around with the guild as well. Joe, Nintendo Gamer, a friend of mine, ended up actually constructing the club because it took a certain amount of goodies in order to actually craft it. So let's actually warp over to the public island right now so I can kind of show you this. So for the guild world, it's like kind of the same as your own personal island. You can have other people building on it and stuff like that. And you can have, I don't know why it says I can't use this. Maybe I was supposed to warp to the private version, not the public. I don't even know. But this chest normally is going to actually be shared between all of your guildmates. And then that's pretty much it. If I put down a crafting table, nobody's going to be able to interact with it outside of myself. Now, if any of you are actually like some SkySaga experts secretly, and you know a way that you can actually change some of the settings in the guild so that everybody could build and everybody could use the same crafting tables and stuff like that, please let me know in the comments below, because outside of that, if the guild is just the same as your own homeworld island, I honestly don't see any reason to actually even have a guild outside if we get a bigger starting island. Who cares? The other thing too is it is limited amount of members, but you can, of course, up that for a lot of currency, okay? Like, it seriously takes way, way too much. Now, I don't want to sound like all we're doing today is kind of ripping on the game or anything. It's just these little touches that I actually strongly complain about, you know? Otherwise, everything else in the game is actually doing fantastic. The adventuring, completely overhauled. So cool. Absolutely loving it. And have been playing as much as I can off camera as well. Now, for today, we're actually going to do a couple Settlers quests, but first we're going to go to this dude and try to unbox a couple of these things, see if we can end up getting anything special out of these. Now, I have a couple friends that have actually gotten, ooh, ice armor. That's actually really cool looking. I have a couple people that have ended up getting a little bit further in the game, and I can confirm that there are actually different versions of these. Oh, a recipe, a hanging canopy. That's actually gonna be real sick. I like stuff like that. You can actually get like really, really rare versions of these loot crate things, right? Ooh, a crate as well, nice. That actually counts as a chest. But you'll have them locked for 9 hours, not just the 2-hour locked ones that I've been finding. You can actually find them at 9 hours and get some insane legendary gear out of them, like really. Ooh, we got the forest bow recipe as well. That is awesome. And the other thing too that I just want to say in passing, folks, is that for gear and stuff like that, I know I didn't really explain that very well in the first episode, but for this one, for example, I find it self-explanatory, where it's got the little snow icon because it increases defense against ice realm enemies, right? Now, you might be sitting there wondering, well, what if the only boots that you have are forest realm ones? Okay, so it actually is more beneficial for you to craft just normal generic heroic armor that doesn't have any element on it and take that into an area that you don't have armor for than it is to actually use, like, it's better to use no elemental defense armor in an ice area if you only have forest boots, is kind of what I'm trying to say, right? Just to make a point. But as for today, I'm probably gonna have to re-equip some of my gear. We might not get to do that much adventuring today because, like I said, I do want to get out of my face. I want to do some of these settler quests here, because if you get further in the settler quest line, that's where you end up getting, in one of the earlier episodes, Actually, I don't know if I showed that on camera, but there was a dude that I saw and he had like a big fan on his back, and that is actually from the Settlers, and you can only use it effectively in your home world. There's also long-range picks. There's also destructive picks that actually destroy like huge plots of land and stuff like that. I'm actually very surprised at the amount of crazy gear that this guy ends up giving you, but of course you only get to use it on your home world. You can use it in adventure worlds, but most of the effects are nullified, right? So I wanted to get most of these because it's like speak to this guy in the City of Light, speak to this guy in the City of Light. It's just a bunch of passive quests, right? What was that other one? Enter a build-off contest. I don't even know how to do that, so I'm not going to. Sorry to say, game, because that's really scaring me. I think we're just supposed to talk to all of these dudes that are around us, right? I love the challenge. Oh, see? So we were supposed to have gotten this right off the hop, because otherwise I ended up having to find one of these out in the world. Oh man, rip me. So I would recommend, if you're just starting this game out, get into the Settlers right away, because it's going to give you all the crafting tables that are required for you to actually go on your adventures and stuff like that. Wow, okay. I already crafted all these. Ooh, I didn't have any of those lights, though. That's a beautiful thing. What do they want us to do? Place all these things on our home world. Ooh, okay. I'll do that in a minute. First, I want to talk to this freak and see what's what. Is he going to give us a... okay, I don't really know what that was about. Then there's also this dude over here, as well as we've gotten some more thingies in. Ooh, so we get a blueprint draft, grants ownership of a new blueprint draft. I guess that's just so that we could end up grabbing a specific build of ours and... I don't know. Hi, random person. A small table as well, so we could actually start making our place look a little cooler. Oh! You guys are scaring me. I'll do a little dance for you, like I do in the YouTube videos, because I embarrass myself on camera. No, not really. I don't know who those people were. Maybe they're secretly fans or something, but, well, there you go. Now you're in an episode, right? Let's see this right here. Thank you so much. I know I'm kind of skipping through these. Okay, so this guy was actually just teaching us the portals right here. Now, another thing, too, that is actually a very big problem with this game that I don't think the devs, I think they overlooked it, is that only one person in the City of Light can actually interact with a megalith at a time. Meaning that if this game potentially ever ended up having hundreds of players, RIP, you would never be able to even go into this portal. I mean, I guess that's where your homeworld comes in handy, but yeah, I don't know. Okay, so all of this stuff is actually just, we're supposed to place and craft a bunch of things in our home, I guess, our homeworld or whatever, right? Use a portal to travel to an adventure, then gather blocks. Well, I'll do that one off camera. Visit the community island. Okay, we can do that one today. Then there's also place Lumo components on your homeworld. What does that even mean? Is that just talking about this right here? I want to show you this because this is actually really, really sick. Yeah, okay, so if we actually put these two down beside each other, this is a light, and I do gotta say, it is beautiful. Like, seriously, watch if we connect these two together. Oh, and this is actually a good point, too, because as far as the wands are concerned, this one is actually creating a blue stream, which is separate from the yellow stream that we had constructed over here. So keep that in mind, everybody, because that, I guess, is how you could have two different redstone streams going right beside each other to have two different functions, right? But isn't that swag? Doesn't that look beautiful? Like, seriously, look at that. It just looks so good just as a normal block, and then it lights up and it's like, dude, I want it. Now, what I need to figure out is there actually redstone that just turns on and stays on, like an on-off switch or a lever? I haven't discovered anything like that just yet, but I'm guessing that there probably secretly is. What is all the... Ooh, we ended up getting a destructive pick right away, as well as a double chest. Come on, game. I've been playing this game for so long already, doing adventuring and stuff, and the whole time I just needed to go into the Settlers? All right, so here's that demolition pick, one of the ones that I was actually just mentioning. This thing is absolutely insane in your homeworld. It can dig like so much. I'm gonna try and craft one in 2 seconds here to show you. But even taking it into the normal adventure world, it does have a lot of mining strength, but it's not gonna destroy like 50 zillion things. You can also set any of the craftables as a personal quest, where it's going to end up kind of telling you all the items that are actually required, but again, I would recommend to just say it in the chat so you can keep track of it, right? Okay, I'm gonna take a peek at this blueprint draft because I don't really understand what we just did. You are qualified to have one blueprint. Blueprint draft, allow friends to edit. Visit this private island. Oh, I see. So it creates a separate instance, I guess, where we would go into there and build something that would then become blueprints? I guess so, but as long as we're in here, we have all the materials available to us that we need. They also see the current submission price. And then there's also going to be a retail price, which I guess is what people could buy it for. That's pretty cool, because that would actually be a really good system for making currency. I may have to mess with this when I can. Do you end up having... No, you do not have all of the recipes unlocked to you or anything like that. I don't really understand this, that it's got all of this stuff right here. Like, why would I have to craft the other weapon forge and stuff like that while we're in this area? I don't get it. Okay, and inside all of these chests is just all the ore and all the items you'd ever need. So this is actually like a proper creative mode area. Okay, cool. So you could come in here, construct something that other players could then end up using. That's pretty sick. I'm gonna have to mess with that when I find some extra time. So then there's also this title deed jungle ruins, which if this is what I think it is, I think it just gives us a separate island as well. Yeah, it does. I don't like the fact that it's kind of splitting our content up. I don't want to go through loading screens, but I will show you this because the jungles are pretty sick. Man, isn't this atmospheric? It's so cool. And I like how they just give you a large chest with a ton of props already. What? Why did I get all of these? Is that the benefit of having all the extra islands? Man, I'm gonna take these to my own main world. Forget this jungle land. Oh, dude, that's so neat. We got a nice double chest, single chest. Oh man, they got a hammock and stuff, stone doors. Yeah, I'm gonna have to mess with this off camera when I find the time because that is absolutely awesome. They have spike posts and stuff like that too. Now you can see as well that this jungle area quite obviously is a lot bigger than the starting island. It's gonna be really cool when we get to the jungle biomes as far as the adventure world is concerned because there's actually dinosaurs and stuff like that. I did explore most of this stuff with my brother in our old Let's Play a million zillion years ago. But one thing that's also strange about this biome is these vines don't actually count as ladders in your home world, but they do while you're out in the main adventure and stuff. Oh man, these look so cool. And the purple lights too. Oh man, they don't seem to have like a warping teleporter thing here or anything, but there is... Oh, this is just a sarcophagus. I thought this was like a chest. So I was trying to interact with it. I didn't know we could grab it. Dude, that's so cool though, isn't it? Like, awesome. Also, McDonald's M. Now, another thing I notice is that any screenshots that we take while we're here on this island are going to then show up on the image of our forest headquarters. So if we took pictures of the jungle ruins, it would start cycling through pictures on there as well. Okay, so that makes sense as far as the blueprints are concerned, because I've seen with other people, like they'll take a picture of their build in that blueprint zone, and then it starts getting displayed to other people. We kind of ended up messing with that in the last episode at the Settler faction, but just before we call it a day, let me see if I can craft some of these things. Oh, and I just want to show you too that this is the Lumo Forge right here where you can make all of the redstone stuff. And this right here is actually kind of like, what do they call this one? It's the one that's a D. They call it an AND gate, right? So you have to have two signals going in one side, as you can kind of see on the left, kind of like a plug, and then one output signal comes out. So I've actually set up two pressure plates to go into this thing, and then it comes out to the door. So this way, technically speaking, this is a one-way door where other players wouldn't be able to enter it from the outside. So if you're building your own cornerstone, there's my trove terminology, but if you're building your base and you don't want people to kind of enter your house, you can end up setting up some stuff like that. I would also say to organize your chests as soon as possible, and also kind of organize them in a way that you'll end up being able to work with it. So I've got this first chest set for wood, the second second one's set for everything leather-based. The third one is set for like iron and stuff like that. I'm gonna have to actually swap these over to double chests as well, though, because there's just too many different items that you can end up messing with, right? But it seems like the game really wants me to forge all of the different crafting tables, which is unfortunate because I already ended up doing all of this. All right, so that's pretty cool. That's definitely gonna give me a lot to do off camera for sure. But, man alive, having to recraft everything was not, well, I mean, I guess it was fun. Oh, there we got a campfire, and we got food and drink stove. Also, just a normal pickaxe. Seriously, get into the settlers as soon as possible, folks, because it's a requirement, dude. Like, seriously. Okay, what are you gonna give me, you little freak? Did he give me anything? I don't really know. Okay. But that's the other thing, too, is, well, I guess I'm still gonna have to go and craft that pickaxe. There's some ichor that we can end up using for our redstone stuff. Most of these quests, too, seem to be, like, kind of go gather 6 different types of block colors, craft the demolition pickaxe too. Yeah, that's right. Okay, I'm gonna have to do that one. Take a photo on a friend's island, sell a recipe. I can do most of this stuff off camera though, but I am going to definitely go and make that pick right now. Oh, that's right. What I was also going to say is that at least because I've recrafted all these different tables and stuff, potentially I could end up moving over to that jungle biome. I don't want to because it's darker than this one, but I'm definitely gonna have to tear down a bunch of this stuff just so that I can make room for all of the craziness that we have. This area is all right, but it's a little too claustrophobic and a little too like small for what we're actually going to need to expand it to. And this door right here, though beautiful, like look at that, it just takes too long to open. I'm sorry to say, but it really, really does, as opposed to these doors that we can just open and close right then and there. So I'll probably go and steal that double door from our jungle area and put it there instead, right? Where's this new pickaxe, by the way? There it is in the weapons bench. Okay, I don't know why it takes a fabric strip of all things. I guess because we're gonna end up making it look a little bit different. But yeah, needless to say, this thing's got some insane mining or digging strength. I would have to compare whether or not it's actually better than this one is out in the normal world, like a normal pickaxe. So this one's got digging strength 209 and attack speed 1.5, while this one has digging strength 353 and 1.2. So wouldn't having 2 of these be better than just using the normal pick? I don't get it. But anyways, I want to show you what this looks like because this is absolutely cool. You can kind of see the way that it digs is kind of like, I mean, I guess it's like a 3-line forward. It's kind of like a proximity pick. It's really, it dug deep too. This thing's really weird, but very good for terraforming. Not necessarily for specific terraforming though, I would say, but definitely something worthwhile. It wants us to smash a ton of blocks within a time limit, which that was already 40 blocks. That's pretty crazy. Oh my goodness. And it one-shot stone. Okay, well, I'm definitely gonna use this to go and mine up all the area around us. But yeah, I'm gonna have to do a bunch of the other quests off camera here, folks, because otherwise this is already gonna be, I mean, I've been recording for over half an hour, so I'm hoping I can condense this down to something that's watchable. Thanks for watching though, everybody. Very much appreciated. Don't forget to like, share, favorite, and subscribe for more daily content. Sayonara and stay epic, everybody.